Welcome to the Psionic Aftermath Kohai Alpha Team League. I'm Xenodactyl, and I will be providing you with some subpar commentary on these excellent games. I apparently don't have this thing on. I am confused. Hang on. Okay. Let's introduce the players spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map as the green Terran. It is Volticus. And in the top right as the blue Protoss representing TSØP, it is Zella. Okay. Hopefully everything is running smoothly now. Looks good here. Where is it? I feel like I am confused. Just make sure nothing critical is going on in this game. Are we still on normal Reaper, expand, 19 Nexus? Okay, yeah. Something to that effect. Probe is gonna come in, get picked off by the Reaper. Okay. Yes. The title is off on the stream, but I can't do anything about that right now. If one of the mods wants to fix that, there's a / command. If not, I'll get it later. Okay. Looks like we're gonna have a Hellion opener coming out of Volticus. I wonder if he's gonna get like actually that's a barracks, not a starport. I was gonna say I was wondering if we were gonna see like a 4 Hellion drop with this, but no, he's just gonna opt to run his Hellion straight across the map. No need for a starport. Reaper is here. There's no wall from the Protoss at this front, so these Hellions could actually get considerable amount of probe kills. There is a Reaper here as well. Could bounce the Stalkers out of position should they choose to maybe clog the ramp. But we'll see what happens. Hellions are going to run right up that ramp. They've escaped the Stalkers for the time being. Lots of probes are probably going to fall momentarily. Uh-oh. It looks like Volticus has found himself 5 probes so far. Not as many as I was expecting. guess the probe shots just didn't line up as nicely. 7 is still acceptable, but I feel like there just wasn't a whole lot here for the Protoss. I think had he shot here instead of here, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. At any rate, Stalkers are going to come across the map, go from some counter-aggression. I think this is pretty common. Like the Terran shouldn't have that much at home. There are 2 Marauders here, and that's gonna force some Blink Micro out of these Stalkers, but actually, no, that Marauder does survive for the time being. That should go straight into the bunker as soon as that completes. We do not yet have a medevac. Yep, weakened bio has taken shelter in that bunker, but the Protoss has decided to go home, as there's not a whole lot he's going to be able to do pushing up this ramp against a bunker. All in all, I'd say a nice lead for Volticus. Nothing substantial, but I think normally Protoss would be up in workers at this stage of the game, whereas they are pretty much even. Protoss is now going to take his 3rd, and gonna see some Storm. Probably more gateways momentarily. Actually, I'm not sure what attack he's expecting with these shield batteries. I guess he just saw or feels like frontal assault is imminent, and it is. His observer sees this bioforce pushing out across the map. Thank you, Salavanth, for entering the command. And this 3rd is going to have to be cancelled. There's no saving that. The Protoss army is out of position and not in high enough numbers. It does indeed go down. There's too many shield batteries for Volticus to push this natural, but he really doesn't have to. He can wait for reinforcements. Oh, that's a nice Storm. And his 3rd is 2/3 done. So, meanwhile, there is going to be this drop unloading in the blind spot of the Protoss main. Protoss is dealing with this army at the front, but there's Terran at his natural as well. Recall is going to be forced. This is going to give... oh, okay. Blink is pretty good. Volticus is looking for some extra damage, but Zella has circled back around to that location, kind of mirroring his Volticus's screen movements. And Volticus is going to have to find another plan of attack. He's going to bring a lot of mines this time over and probably siege them this approximate area, kind of where he's scanning at the moment. There is an observer, I guess. Okay. Getting rid of the zealots at the front. Storm is going to cover some of the Terran bio. There's not actually a lot here in terms of actual bio forces from Volticus, and he's probably going to have to retreat off of this. Actually, things are looking kind of dicey for Volticus, as I'm not so sure that went the way he planned. He does have Liberators, so he will be able to zone out Zella if Zella were to counterattack. Overall, Volticus... Okay, he does have the worker advantage. It's actually quite sizable by now after all of that harass that was in that mid-game. And I thought I saw something else, but I don't know what it was. Zella is going to move out across the map. He now has a Colossus with this predominantly Storm Stalker force. Volticus is not quite in position as Stalkers do blink up onto this high ground. Good Storms going down, zoning out the the Terran and getting some of the bio there. Oh, very nice Storm on the SCVs. Volticus is going to lose this third. Losing the high ground actually is gonna make things kind of difficult for our green Terran. And Zella is content to just pull back and circle around. Actually, he's just gonna go home. He feels that with his fourth on the way, the burden to find damage now goes back to the Terran. I would agree with that. Volticus is actually suddenly in a little bit of a dicey position, I would say. He's down 2 bases effectively, and he does, however, have a considerable upgrade advantage. So if somehow he can deal with all these high temp, oh gosh, what just happened? Okay, there we go. If he can somehow deal with the AoE of Protoss, then in theory he can win a straight up fight, but there's a lot of AoE in this army. 1 Colossus and a good number of High Templar, all with considerable energy. Oh, this is really unfortunate. He's gonna not... he does manage to actually defend this location. I was worried there that he was gonna lose his CC again, but Zella did recall. I guess he felt like there wasn't quite enough reason to overstay his welcome. He's just gonna take a 5th base. Zella does now have +1 armor, but overall, Volticus is still many bio upgrades ahead. The issue is these bio upgrades aren't really going to do much. Wait, actually, hang on. Done. I am confused. I can't read that. Oh. Well, Storm is going to go down on the Terran again. Volticus is struggling to hold this location. At pretty much any time, Zella has been able to just push up here and zone out the Terran with his AoE. Stalker count is pretty sizable. It's not a lot of charge lots, but it's not exactly necessary with all these storms. Oh gosh. And Volticus is probably dead. He has some ghosts, and that's turning the tide of this fight, but it may be too little too late. Yeah, that's not what you want. SCVs being pulled into Colossus and Archons. Eek. ghosts are here, and they're doing sizable damage on the Archons. But there's still no real answer for these Colossi. Another good EMP, but there's not really anything else to the Terran army. And Volticus is back to 2 bases, both of which are mostly mined out. Protoss is under no threat, can just continue this contain at this point. Main is mined out, natural is soon to follow. And Zella is on, what, 5 bases? Maybe thinking about a 6th? Volticus is going to try and deal with this Protoss army, but and he does in fact force a recall. But Zealots are now going to, or at least 2 Zealots, a pair. Okay, there's more. Going to come over into this main, interrupt the production of the Terran, force some more micro, spend some APM. War Prism is going to fall, but I just don't see where Volticus is supposed to go from here. It's a little bit unfortunate. That War Prism did survive. And Volticus is going to move his 2 orbitals out to fresh locations. I don't really know if that solves his issue. There is a 6 going down for Zella. I think at this point, Volticus just needs to find a way to win the game from here. And I don't see how you do that with carriers. Like, he has ghosts, and the ghosts can get rid of the High Templar, but how do you deal with the Colossus? How do you deal with carriers? This is just a really difficult position for Volticus. And Zella is maxed now, so an attack may be imminent. And Volticus isn't even at 100 supply. He's gonna load up a drop or 2, and that's just gonna get caught by the... Okay, no, Volticus is watching. He will pull back. Stalkers are here though, and this space is gonna fall. All the workers at the, I guess what was a 3rd, fall. And Stalkers are going to blink under this command center, making short work of that. Volticus is trying to get what he can done, but it's what, this army, and if you can call it an army, it's a platoon. That's what this is. There are carriers. Platoon versus Armada. I think Armada wins. Okay. So at this point, does Volticus even have an orbital? Nope. Does he have a worker? I don't believe so. He is going to get a drop. Maybe he can get the Dark Shrine, not that it was doing anything. And the carriers are going to come back over the top. Stalker Colossus coming from the bottom. Volticus is trying, but try as he may, there's no return from this. His drop does get cleaned up and Volticus will top out. Hey, Kid Not. Let's see here. Looks like next map should be Fracture. Yeah, I feel like Volticus got a lot of early game, mid game damage, but it was just, I'm not so sure that map is conducive to Terran holding. Maybe Volticus should not have expanded at that third location. Maybe he should have taken his third below his, or in front of his main. I think that may have been slightly easier for him to hold. I'm not supposed to be playing. I'm sure they'll fix it. Yeah, I think the primary issue is he was just really stubborn as to where he wanted to take his third, and I just don't think that was the right location for the army that he was using, because his defensive force was Liberator. Well, see, the thing is, he could have used Liberators and zoned out the ramp. So, alternatively, if he positioned his army more along the Protoss attack path and allow his army to protect his center by collapsing, that may have gone better. Yeah, like, really, the issue was when he lost his third, right? Because until that point, things were equal or slightly in his advantage, depending where we're talking about in the game, I think. At any rate, we're gonna have a TVT next. And spawning in the bottom right as the blue Terran representing Psionic Aftermath, it is the one, the only, the TBA. And in the opposing corner, in the orange trunks, representing TSØP, up a game, it is Doom Guy.
Game paused.
Oh, okay. So looks like they forgot to invite their caster, so the game is being remade. So I get to intro them all over again. Yeah, see? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I get to increase my chances of having the wrong overlay as well. All the perks of being a caster that didn't miss the invite. Looks like that's going alright. Okay. So, as I said, this is Fracture. This is going to be a TVT. Anything else? Anything else I want to recap? No. Thoughts on Fracture is that it is a really short rush distance map with a lot of drop space. It handles a lot like a Biogenesis for people that were here playing StarCraft 2 seasons ago, and haven't played too much since. So that's just or haven't played the new maps. Just a quick rundown of what you're looking at. TVT is not exactly a specialty of mine when it comes to matchup understanding, so a lot of this is going to be me saying, oh, he has this many Cyclones or this many tanks, and so therefore I think he wins. We're going to get different spawns than last time, but that makes no difference on this map. It would for, say, Darkness Sanctuary, but we don't have 4-player maps anymore. Thank Blizzard. Okay. So, spawning in the top left as the blue Terran, representing Psionic Aftermath, it is TBA. And in the southeast, as the orange Terran, representing TSØP, it is the Doom Guy. Okay. Looks like Doom Guy is experiencing some lag. Oh, I can't see the... Oh well. No, that's not what I want. Okay. At any rate, it looks like we're going to get double gas openers from both players, so probably a Cyclone drop, but not limited to by any means. I know that TBA is not afraid to do a Cyclone drop. In fact, he is just going to take a fast CC instead. I mean, fast given the double gas, like... okay. Factory is coming down. You know, this double gas was actually kind of conservative. He only put 2 SCVs in each gas geyser. It feels kind of Protossy. I'm not used to Terran doing this. Reaper is out for TBA. This is like really defensive play, I would say. Like, he's not overly defensive. He's just conservative is more what I'm thinking. Just like the bare essentials for the matchup, shy of going for... there was another TVT build I saw Lanfear doing that had slower gas, but kind of similar to this. don't remember. It was like a form of 211, but it looked a lot different. At any rate, Doom Guy is now going to take his natural finally at 340. This is, in a certain regard, it is normal. I don't think... Yeah, so Doom Guy has gone for the Cloaked Banshee opener, and he's not going to see anything from TBA's side of the map until this Banshee gets in there. And that Banshee is going to need to do some work. For Doom Guy's sake, there is not energy for a scan when that Banshee gets here. There is a Viking, and it is patrolling this side. I think TBA, though, is anticipating a Cyclone drop, and not this Banshee. As his scouting has also been a little bit on the smaller end of things. He doesn't quite have energy for a scan. I will be there momentarily. The Viking is circling back. It's not exactly in position. Okay. And scan does go down. Lock on as well, but the Banshee is gonna escape. And it will probably come back to haunt the Terran mineral line. Yep, there it is. Another scan goes down, and the Banshee does die. So 7 SCVs go down to the first Banshee. The second Banshee is coming in. TBA is still up in workers, but not by much, and there is a missile turret here this time. So, can get the lock on, and this Banshee will not find much success. It'll find no success, actually. It does escape with its life, so that's a small consolation in the grand scheme of things. Doom Guy, or Doom Guy, is, gosh, I keep thinking of Gur. I don't know if anyone has seen Invader Zim. Da-doom, doom, 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 da-doom. Yeah. That's all that's running in my head now. Very useful. There is a third CC for TBA that is complete and transformed into an orbital. Stop and move to location, but imagine he'll think to do that once he's resaturated his mineral lines. At the present moment, it's just a liability for him for that orbital to be on location. Oh. Thank you, Snoopy. Oh, man. So I even said that the fact that we were going back through this was an opportunity to screw up the overlay on the second take, and I totally did that. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm supposed to be foreshadowing what happens in the game between the players, not my own mistakes as a caster. Oh, gosh. Anyway, these Banshees are going to swing over from the top. The third is on location, but there's no workers there just yet. There will be a pair of, or a single SCV. A free tank could be picked off. That's not bad. Raven is here with the Viking, so that should escort the Banshees out here. Actually, in fact, kill the Banshees. 4 SCVs do go down, but 4 SCV. Well, okay, he did get the tank. So, all in all, supply advantage is still going to Doom Guy. I'm not so sure that's worth very much at the moment. Yes, I did fix the overlay. Yes, okay. finally. Oh, man. Fortunately, nothing has been so critical that a full screen was absolutely necessary, I guess. It's been kind of slow. Yes, Baxter, the overlay is fixed. How do you draw a grimacing face? I don't know. Y'all did tell me. Oh gosh. Yes, thank you all for catching that. The nice thing about the overlay is that it doesn't completely radio cast it, so you guys can see something, but not very much. There is a healthy missile turret ring here, which should deny this 16 medevac drop at this location. The Marines are going to unload for Doomguy here on this edge. Plenty of warning with that spotter Marine and the sensor tower. There is a pair of Vikings up there as well. Siege tank to zone out the Terran poke. I don't even know he attacked the rocks. I was gonna say, it's like shooting at the air. And yeah, both players just playing safe, conservative, not wanting to move out with the bulk of their army. Doomguy is looking for openings, but TBA has his bases on lockdown. Scan goes down, sees some... Oh, you know, so this scan here from, well, that's irrelevant. But it kind of caused a counter scan, is what I was going to say, which... I don't know, it's just showing a little bit of the nuances of TVT movement, for whatever that's worth to our viewers. Some SEV, Marines are going to be picked off, as they were just sitting here. I thought he was going to move these, but guess not. And TBA has kind of pulled up his forces. He's got 2-2 over his opponent's 2-1. Gonna look for a fight. I'm not really sure where he's gonna... Guess he can siege up here and take an engage that way. He left his Vikings at home, but Doomguy is not really in position. He's gonna have to cancel his morphing planetary, and that's gonna fall all the same. So nice pickup to start things off for TBA's push. Doomguy is going to poke, but there's still a tank, and he realizes that. He's going to drop on top of that tank instead. TBA is moving back to deal with this. Saves the tank with his Raven, and a handful of Marines. Good plays, good plays. Gonna open up this rock path, trying to give himself some more mobility. Doomguy is gonna push out through the center here. Neither player is quite aware of this just yet. Now they're gonna see each other and siege up. Marines fall for TBA first, and with that, Doomguy is able to... Actually, he's alarmingly Marauder heavy. Huh. I thought that doesn't work in TVT. Well, it's working for him at the moment. I don't know if it's going to continue to work. Actually, he just has too much. He took a really good fight, cleared the tank line. He has his Liberators in position already, and TBA is reinforcing with the healthy Marine count. It's the Defender's advantage kicking in, but Doomguy has secured himself some high ground positioning. TBA is in a little bit of trouble. He's gonna pull the boys into this. I don't really know if you want to do that with the double tank line. He will get on top of the high ground tanks with his Marines, and those will fall. He did lose 11 SCVs in the process. More tanks are going to come up for Doomguy. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed that Doomguy did not try a Doom drop. But, I should zoom out. Tank is here for TBA and more Marine reinforcements. There's a healthy tank line still for Doomguy, but it's about to fall. TBA may have held after sacrificing many SCVs. He's gonna... Well, I was gonna say he's gonna stabilize, but the slow trickle of orange across the map is making it very difficult for Doomguy to find what he wants. He's gonna swing around, pick off the low ground tank. Then he's gonna splinter or stagger his forces so that they don't all die to the same tank volley. And he will clean this up in the end. But at this point he's down 40 supply. And he does have this planetary over here. Doomguy seems to be aware of that likelihood. He's gonna actually... Oh. This may turn into a base trade. I think TBA is out of position. Doomguy is going to push this third again. Some production going down for TBA. Doomguy in turn is going to lose his fourth. Gonna mean no mining there for some time. Tank and Marines are continuing to push this, but this is gonna get cleaned up. And Doomguy is looking to close this out. He has the tanks, he has the Vikings, he has the Marines, the medevacs, everything he wants. And now the natural is under threat. This also means that production is going to get clogged up, as it will not be able to walk down this ramp. There is para-tanks at the top, but all these SCVs are falling. 17 at this juncture. Nice pick-off, getting that one tank, but I don't know if he's going to be able to find much else. This is probably going to burn down, as it's not really in a place that can be repaired. Tanks are moving, Marines stimming. Okay, there's some life left in TBA. He's trying to clean this up, but his tanks get dropped on. And this reinforcement is surely going to close this out. I don't know if any Terrans in chat want to explain the Marauders to this composition, because I've not seen this, and I do remember someone explained to me once upon a time why you can't get Marauders in TVT, generally speaking, but I don't remember, because I'm not a Terran. So, I thought that was curious. So, Does saying that if TBA had simply waited for 3-3, he would have been able to take that fight better. I assume he means the fight that was kind of in the middle of the map. I think that was a critical turning point of this battle. Yeah. We should have a ZVP up next. Salivanth will be our Protoss. I don't know if they've agreed to a server. There's been a lot of, we should be playing on East because that is correct. And why am I party leader? Okay, Blue Shift will be our map. PVZ on Blue Shift. We might see Sal pull out. Well, okay. Regardless of how Sal decides to play, or what build he decides to do, I expect him to play defensively. We do have a 2-minute delay, so I'll just wait a little bit longer before I start to speculate, but I think that much is safe enough. Marauders are better at... yes, Chevy. those things may be true, but that's not explaining why people generally don't use marauders. My question is, like, as to why it's generally Marine tank, and like, I know there's a reason that has something to do with DPS in certain engagements, but I'm not sure what it is. Or was it having to do with Marine output versus Marauder output? I don't know. There was some reason as to why it's rare. It has... It can win. I'm not questioning that. I'm not questioning that there's a time and place for Marauders. I'm just wondering why it's the off-brand form of TVT as opposed to the standard. Okay. Looks like players are ready and should be starting momentarily on Blue Shift. Thank you for your patience, as we want to provide the best experience for our players and viewers. Alrighty. Let me, on that note of providing good experiences, let me make sure you're on the correct overlay. Oh man. Alright, here. Spawning in the bottom left. Oh, that's the end of that, guys. Sal loses, you know. Oh man. So we spawned on the wrong server. That's the actual story. Yes, Chevy, I read what you said, but that wasn't the answer to the question I was asking. That was an answer as to, unless I misread something. No, I didn't ask what purpose Marauders have. I asked why Marines are preferred. Oh gosh. At any rate. Okay. Anyway. Looks like they finally sorted the correct sub-server for the regions of these players and should be ready to go momentarily. Oh, looks like we have a race check here. Okay. I think they have fixed it. PVZ Blue Shift. Are we ready to start? I think we're ready to start. Okay. Okay, we are finally starting. Man. Now what happened? Was it still wrong server? Yep, still wrong server. So, I'm sure their guy attempted to put it to the right server, but attempting and succeeding are not exactly the same thing if you don't follow the right protocol. Oh, man. So, we should be getting a party invite momentarily. from which a lobby should be formed. Yes, the score is 2-0 in TSØP's favor. Looks like we're still missing Salavanth and Rocket. Oh my goodness. And we're back to the ping discussion. We may have to go fetch an admin if this persists. Not entirely sure. Gosh. I don't even know. we're back on the server debate, even though there's a regulation. What? Okay, we are starting. I have no idea what server we're on. It's either West or Central. But we are starting. So, that was what, 15 minutes of our time spent on nothingness, but
game paused.
Okay. I have no idea what server we're on. Apparently we were on West and they're demanding Central. So, looks like we're switching. The score is 2-0 in their favor. Man, I've run out of things to entertain you guys with because we've been taking so long deciding the server. Good grief. Yes, Dus. Yes, Dus. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel right now. Okay. TSØP shows as a USA team, but it appears they are Brazilian, based on how they've been, like, what ping stuff they've been discussing, and they were either speaking Spanish or Portuguese. I wasn't reading carefully to tell them apart. Um, so, um, it looks like they're at least LATAM. At any rate, I believe Sushi will sort this out, as he is a ATL admin and knows the rules better. So, um, okay. So this should be our last remake of this lobby, as Sushi is making sure it is done correctly, dotting those T's and crossing those I's. Just the way all things should be done, right? Okay. So, this blue shift lobby should be on Central, And that should be the end of this discussion. Wait, why am I host? Oh my goodness, that's not what I was. Okay. I believe we are ready to start. Alas. Alas, the day has come where we will see Salamans versus this Zerg player, Alexandro MVP. Finally. Oh man. How long have we waited for this? I have no idea. But the the anticipation is overwhelming. Good lord. You know, StarCraft teaches you patience. I can't even say half of this with a straight face anymore. Okay, spawning in the upper right as the Blue Zerg, representing TSØP. From LATAM, it is Alexandro MVP with a fast pull. It's a 12 pull, I think. Either 12 or 13, I wasn't watching very carefully. Probably 12. And in the bottom right, as the red Protoss, representing Psionic Aftermath from down under, it is Alabama. Okay, Sal. Where's your scout? Okay, he did. He did see the 12 pull. So he is going to wall first. Good man. Doing his due diligence. Making sure that he knows this cheese is coming. He scouted both that it is. He scouted his gas list, so he is aware that this is just a 12 pull. Nothing, no like speed or bane to worry about as well. Going to find some nice surface area on this first gateway. That might have to be remade, actually. Okay. Loses the probe. Not ideal, but 6 slowlings in the Protoss base is It's not game-ending, but this is certainly an annoyance that I don't think Salavanth was wanting to put up with. He does have an Adept, and he will throw down his Nexus, being aware that this was speedless. He knows he doesn't, that like re-walling is not a priority. So he's gonna clean this up, and things should normalize from here. Starter gate does go down, and we will see that gateway to finish things off. I'd like to see him keep a Zealot at home, but he's gonna opt to send all his units out. I guess that's fine. He'll have an Adept at home. So, same thing. Completes that wall. All in all, the early game momentum is going to swing the other way as 2 Zealots and 2 Adepts kill Lings very quickly. Queen is likely going to fall. No, it will escape to the high ground, actually. There's another queen here and some more Lings. Pressure is being applied, but not finding a whole lot of actual damage. Much like those initial drones did not find much actual damage. Salavanth is going to retreat as speed is just now completing. These Zealots may be trapped. They are in fact going to turn and fight as the Adepts shade away. The Adepts are going to join their friends. Oracle is out and should discourage any further Zergling aggression. There will be a Phoenix soon as well. And with 3 Adepts here, these Lings are not going to find anything. Oracle does come in and pick off 2 drones right off the bat. There is a Spore Crawler at this location, so just going to pick off 1 drone and have to retreat. That Queen nearly gets the Oracle, but it will escape with 22 hit points. And Salavanth is just clearing out the SC or the Lings for his probe. Gosh, there's not even a Terran here, and I want to call them space contraction vehicles. Gosh. I don't even play Terran either. I don't know where my brain is. It's just been on server problems. Okay, so 2 oracles are out, and they're gonna give Salavanth some map vision so he can maintain tabs on the Zerg army, which consists of a handful of Lings that just want to harass and won't find anything. There's no workers here, there's sufficient gateway forces, so no Oracle energy has to be wasted. Double Immortal production is underway, and yeah, Salavanth is just going to take this nice and easy. Good macro game coming out of him. In spite of some, shall we say, designated pressure. Some people may want to call that 12 pull of cheese, and it is certainly cheesy, but we'll refrain from giving clear labels. We're gonna see some roach aggression coming out now. And the banelings are being picked off by the oracles. This is nice for Salavanth. He sees this well in advance. He does have 2 immortals already, and should be able to defend this with his weapons. He does not have a shield battery at this natural, which is a little bit unfortunate, but nice force fields. Gonna allow Salavanth to clean up this roach force on its retreat, and that will put a stop to this Zerg aggression. Alexandro is thinking about finding another angle, kind of. I think he's gonna just take his 4th instead. Oracles are just looking for the army. Revelation does go down, so these roaches cannot possibly catch Salavanth off guard. You should know that they are, in fact, poised to take, or to pressure this 3rd. But there are 4 immortals, an Archon, a handful of gateway units. So these roaches aren't going to find much with the shield batteries as well. Where they're a splinter force, maybe there could be something at the natural, but there's actually an adept there as well. Charges complete, good force fields again. Gonna shave off more of that roach force. Salavanth just gaining value out of his really defensive composition. A lot of times you see the Protoss harassing the Zerg, whereas here we see Salavanth instead of gaining value by harassing with adepts or say Archon drop, he's gaining value just by taking good fights. These Lings do want to get into that natural, but there is an adept and immortal there to defend at home for Salavanth. He's going to find this 4th. Force fields will go down to zone out half of this army. Storm will secure this kill, and the Ling force is cleaned up at home for Salavanth. There's still a happy Ling nibbling at this 4th for Salavanth, but it should not get anything done, as the immortals will now come over to send it on its way into the afterlife. All in all, Salavanth has a wall of sorts here, so Lings can't kind of swoop this way and into the natural, or the 3rd mineral line. Uh-oh. A little bit of lag there. Uh-oh. Where's the lag? Is the lag me? No, it's not me. It's Marty. Marty has left the game. Bye-byes. Stasis Ward going down at the Zerg 4th, and things are looking kinda bad for Alexandro. He has Hydras now, but doesn't have a whole lot with this Hydra force, and there is Storm for Salavanth. Okay, Lurkers are very much the thing that could bring him back into this game. I think if Salavanth does not spot these Lurkers until they are on top of his 4th, he could be in a lot of trouble. So far, he has not seen this. Only now realizing, and he's probably just going to give up this 4th. Really good Zerg movement to zone out the Protoss army. This 4th is certainly going to go down. He does not have his oracles here for a revelation, but he does have a couple observers. He needs to be really careful with those, because if those fall, he will have no more detection at this location. Lings are going to come in and congest this area for Salavanth. He's overextended and lost all of his immortals, the backbone of his army. And suddenly, things have swung the other way for Salavanth, who was nicely gaining himself a lead, but the Lings really immobilizing his immortals from their expected retreat path, and now running into the third, shutting that down. No more immortal production as that pylon falls, and this may be curtains for Salavanth. TSØP will advance 3-0. Really unfortunate turn of events right at the end there. Well, that was the one play that Alexandra really had in the mid-game left available to him. Alternatively, he could have like double expanded and gone for Broodlords, I guess. But bit unfortunate. Well, it is what it is. And that will be the end of this ATL match. Let me just make sure that that is a true statement. Yeah, okay. So, Sunday will be the PsiX Pro Series between Starkiller and Riser. This will be a best of 9 ZVP. It will be casted by Snoopy and Salavanth. And then Monday